Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into a really beautiful and honestly profound philosophy from Vietnam that completely redefines success, not just at work, but in your whole life. It's a mindset that could completely change how you see yourself and everyone around you. All right, let's get into it. So, let's kick things off with a question that gets right to the heart of all this. What if our entire idea of achievement is kind of upside down? What if it's less about your personal glory and way more about making room for other people to shine? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go. So this whole idea really starts with this powerful aha moment that a student had while listening to his teacher. It was a moment that just completely flipped his understanding of what knowledge even is. It hit him that these amazing truths he was learning, they weren't the private property of his teacher or even something he could own himself. No, they were part of something much, much bigger. This wisdom, it belongs to all of us. It's a shared treasure. In Vietnamese, this idea is called nhân. Think of it like the giant shared story of humanity, this incredible ongoing tapestry of our growth and development. So, when we learn something real and true, we're not just adding a fact to our own brain. We're tapping into this collective river of wisdom to help move that bigger human story forward. It's a beautiful way to think about it, isn't it? Okay, so if wisdom belongs to everyone, well, that makes you stop and think, right? It forces us to ask a new question. Where do our own accomplishments actually come from? And this leads to a pretty radical idea, one that's at the core of this whole philosophy. The source material says that good results come from good relationships, and achievement is because of other people. So any success you've ever had, it was never a solo act. Right, so the question you're probably asking is, if my achievements aren't really mine, then whose are they? Where did they even come from? Well, the answer is they come from a whole village of people, an invisible support system. This philosophy breaks it down, identifying all these different roles people play. You've got mentors who just point you in the right direction, benefactors who give you direct help, connectors who open doors you didn't even know were there, and on and on. I mean, just take a second and think about your own life. Can you picture these people? No one, and I mean no one, succeeds in a vacuum. We're all standing on a foundation built by others. You know, when you really, truly let that sink in, that every success you have is thanks to others, it naturally leads to one of the most powerful character traits there is, real, genuine humility. And let's be super clear here. This is not about false modesty. It's not about putting yourself down or playing small. It's the exact opposite. It's an active, conscious practice of seeing the whole picture, of recognizing that web of support that holds you up. It actually gives you this quiet confidence because you know you're part of something way bigger than just yourself. And the cool thing is, this philosophy isn't just theory. It gives us two really practical mental models, two frameworks we can use to actually live this stuff out every single day. They're both so simple, but wow, are they deep. On one hand, we have the philosophy of the rice plant, which is all about knowing when to be humble. And on the other, we have the wisdom of playing foolish, which is this incredible leadership tool for empowering the people around you. Let's break them down. Okay, let's start with the rice plant. And this is such a beautiful metaphor, taken right from nature itself. The metaphor is just perfect. When you're young, when you're learning, you're supposed to stand tall, like a young seedling, reaching for the sun. You have to show your potential so that others know to invest in you, to nurture you. But once you're accomplished, once you are heavy with the grain of your achievements and wisdom, that's when you bow low. Because as the saying goes, a rice plant that's still standing tall at harvest time is empty. All right, that was the rice plant. Now for the second framework. And this one is a serious power tool for anyone who leads a team, whether that's in an office or in your own family. So the source calls this THḷU, which translates to the philosophy of being foolish. Okay, this sounds a little weird, right? Playing foolish? But it doesn't mean being incompetent. It's a deliberate, conscious leadership strategy. It's about knowing when to step back, when to stop being the expert, even on something you're amazing at, so that you can create the space for someone else to step up and become the new expert. And when a leader really gets this, I mean, really nails it, the effect on their team is just incredible. people start to feel real happiness in their work. They take genuine ownership because they're not being micromanaged. And maybe most importantly, they feel a deep, authentic sense of achievement because the success is truly theirs. You know that boss, right? The one who always has to be the smartest person in the room. They just create followers. But a leader who is willing to play foolish, to ask questions they already know the answers to let others take the lead, that's the person who builds the next generation of leaders. It's the ultimate act of empowerment. So, when you stitch all of this together, this idea that our achievements come from others, knowing when to stand tall and when to bow, and having the wisdom to empower your team, it leads to a totally new definition of what success even means. We're not talking about your bank account, your job title, or how many facts you can recite. All that stuff comes and goes. The real measure is something so much more human, so much more real. Ultimately, it all boils down to this one simple idea. A successful person is someone that other people just like to be around. That's it. If you're someone who lifts others up, who sees their contributions, and makes them feel valued, people will be drawn to you. And that, right there, is the real marker of a life well lived. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Who in your life, right now, could you empower by playing foolish just a little bit this week? A junior person on your team? Your partner? Your kid? Think about the potential you could unlock in them just by taking a small step back. Thanks for watching.